About a few vids back of this Let's Play, I did kind of mention that aside from getting back the genies from the first game and deciding what monsters that you wish to recruit, thanks to your Ravish ability that Lisa has, Sonya was supposedly the last character that you could get to join your party. Well, story plot wise, that would be true. The thing is, however, there's actually one other character in the game that you can optionally get. And it's actually one that I have yet to cover thus far since I've started playing the first Arc Lad for you guys. Okay, this character right here is Choko. Cute little girl, isn't she? But don't let her looks fool you, though. She actually packs quite a punch. Really. She actually has the potential to be the strongest character in this game overall. And can be, well, in a sense, can be your saving grace and helping you finish this, the rest of this game as it gets tougher and tougher later on. Because trust me, it does. Now, getting this character to join you is pretty awesome enough once you figure out how to do it. However, unlocking her full potential, now that is a whole achievement in and of itself. Now, since I just mentioned the name, I suppose I have a little bit of explaining to do. So in order to explain how Choko first came into being, I'm going to practically have to start from the beginning here. This takes back to where, based on the first Arctilad game that I did a walkthrough of, I did mention in a video that there was some optional things you can do on the side in order to get better items, experience for your characters, and the such. There was an optional dungeon that you could do. That dungeon in question so happens to be the Forbidden Ruins. Yes, the dreaded ruins with the 50 floors that you have to traverse through to the bottom and then walk all the way back up. Yes, that one. Okay, first of all, I should say again, story-wise, in Arctilad 1, you did have to go to the ruins, but you only had to go down the first, what was it, 7, 8 floors of the 50 in order to just to advance the plot. But of course, once your party gets to a much higher level, there's a lot more to explore of these 50 floors, as they got some really good treasure to find. So, of course, one would think, hey, what's there to get? Let's check it out, right? Here's what I did not mention, or at least not much detail of. There's a big secret, or actually more or less a big prize, should you manage to get to the very bottom of those 50 floors. When you get to floor 50, there is not only a bunch of treasure that you get a chance to go around and pillage, open, recommend whichever, but there is a particular character, or secret character, if you will, that also awaits you at the bottom. That character is indeed Choko. Basically, what happens is she challenges you to a fight. She'll summon a couple of nasty monsters to help her fight by her side. So basically, you have to win this tough fight, and she's got quite a lot of hit points. She can be rather tough, so you need to be careful. But should you manage to take her down, she will turn around and join your party. Now, granted, at that time, yes, she is your best ally that you could ever ask for in the first game, but there is a downside to it. That being, aside from having to be another one of Changaro's monsters that he would have to summon from his summon pot, she is only able to be called in certain areas of the game. And a lot of the times, it does not include areas as part of the story. So, she's good to have for grinding, yes, but the thing is, if you were hoping to use her throughout any part of the story, if you hadn't finished it yet, Yeah, tough luck on that because she won't appear during the last few chapters of that. Now, that said, however, getting her in Arctilad 1 is actually important. It really is. If you're gonna be attempting to do her side quest in the second game, Arctilad 2, getting her in the first game and then converting the data over to Arc 2 actually plays a role in this. It may not seem much now, but it comes into play later. Now, for the sake of this Let's Play, I did happen to have the data from Arctilad 1 from when I actually went through and explored all the ruins, got to the bottom, got Choko, and made my way back out, and got some pretty good stuff. And I did convert it over before I started LPing Arctilad 2. So, this brings us back to where we are at now. First off, I will say this. The earliest that you can actually get Choko back into your party is after the events of defeating Galawano and getting free access to the Silver Noah, which would pretty much be before we started doing Grade G onward. Now, I may have put this part off for a little while, but I figured since we're this far in the game, let's go ahead and see about getting her back now. So with that, here's how you do it. Right, okay. So we'll be starting out on the world map. Fly over to Clinia Isle, which happens to be the same island that we met Gruga in the story. From there, go from the skyport down a little bit southward to a little tiny patch of forest, which is called the Time Forest. Story-wise, you wouldn't have to worry about this place at all, but since this is not part of the story and it's part of the side quest, this is where we'll be. Okay, here you start at a bit of a maze. Pathways are pretty much about the same almost wherever you go, so you got to go in a certain direction to get to this place. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by going up and then go back down, and then from there we're going to go right, and then we go right again. Then we turn around and go left. Notice that it's getting a little bit darker in the area. We go back left again, and from here we go up. And then we go up one last time, and pretty soon you come across this place. A place called Choko Village. Or is it Choko Village? And look who we have here. This is Choko, waiting there to greet us. Another character that likes to refer to herself in the third person. Typical. I've heard enough characters refer to them like that. So yeah, she tells you to come by her house, but before you do that, you're welcome to take your time to look around the place, talk to some of the villagers, see what they got to say. I don't think there's really much for treasure here, so I wouldn't bother worrying about that so much. Of course, we got a church, we got a couple of houses here and there, but Choko's house where you want to go is right here. And here is where you get to meet her father, supposedly. Also, as far as how one would know how to get to this place, as of this point, I don't really know. This is actually something I kind of sort of had to look up. I had to do some research into to figure out what directions to go. I think there's more than one way you can get this village to appear, but the way I showed you is pretty much the preferred method. You only know you're doing it right is if the outside area starts to get darker and darker. So, for right now, this is how it's done. And here's where you meet Rolgo, which is her father. You're offered to stay to have dinner and a place to sleep for the night. So, be a good neighbor and take them up on their kind offer. Well, okay, so you're not really neighbors, but you get what I mean. And So anyways, we're going to accept the hospitality. And here you have a small dinner scene. Yum yum. I think this is probably the only time you actually see a dinner scene throughout this entire game like this. So, yeah. So, right after dinner's done, it's time to go to sleep. So, we're gonna go to bed. And then next thing you know, day breaks. Yay. Isn't Choko just a cheery little girl? Okay, so not long after that, Choko offers to show you around the place a little bit. So what we're gonna do is go ahead. Yes, Choko, hurry up, hurry up. All right, we're coming. Let's follow Choko. You know, for such a young girl, I mean, like I said, like I mentioned before, she sure packs a wallop. Don't underestimate her. Okay, so this is the church. You sing songs so that you can get candy? I never got much for candy when I went to church when I was younger. So yeah, you get to take a look around inside here if you want. Keep in mind that as we progress further with the side quest, we will be coming. Some of these places do play a role, so we will be coming back later. And this is Sizzly's, however you pronounce that name. Apparently he's a bit on the weird side. People don't like him much, but Choko does. And that's it. Wow. That's a bit of a mess you got there. Bit of a pack rat. And again, I would know all about that personally, but I digress. So let's see. After that, she shows you the nice little pond, and that's a big fish. That was a pretty huge fish there that just hopped over our heads. Ooh, okay. I think after that, the tour is about, well, as far as the village goes, the tour is over. So now she's going to show you around the forest a little bit. So, silly Choko, tripping over in like an old barrier field? What? Okay. Yeah, let's not delve into that. Let's just move along. Yeah, let's do that. So here we are back going through the Time Forest. Now, from here on, just follow Choko, go where she goes. Be sure to talk to her each and every time. And yeah, we're just playing following the leader here for a little bit. I know the pathways you take a lot of times don't make much sense because one would think it seems like you're going in circles here and there since just like when we was trying to make our way to the village, like going back and then forth and back and then forth, and you wouldn't think it would the pathway would change, but it somehow does. But I don't know. It's a time forest, I guess. So it's very mysterious. So supposedly she tells you a lot about what she likes and how she's good to people. She can talk to animals. Is she Dr. Dolittle? Anyways, okay. And she likes to play in leaves, apparently. Well, a lot of kids like to play in leaves. There's nothing wrong with that. She just likes to be just a playful little kid. Always polite and kind. Which, that's fine. Anyways, after following her enough, she takes you to a graveyard. Alright. I notice one tombstone sticks out from the rest. Hello, Mother. Choko is fine today, too. Oh. So this is her grave. It's not a grave. She's just... Oh... Okay, alright. Fair enough. We'll go with it. Don't question it. So yeah, that scene was was rather cut short. Not much to see there. So, once again, we're following her. And... yes, okay, we're going. Choko's been child for a long time. Right, okay. So, childhoods they do tend to last for quite a bit. Ask the tree. Tree? What tree? The spirit tree? Is there another tree that we're not aware of? This tree told Choko, human beings can't be adult until they go on journey. Huh. So Choko decided to go on a journey to have grown-up adventure. Choko already made up mine, so you can't leave it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, so right then and there, without telling everybody in the village goodbye, she joins your party. And there you go, fellas. There you go, people. She's now in your party. You have Choko. Free to use, and unlike the first Dark Delay game, any battle you wish. She's there. She's much more important character now than she was before. Let's take a quick look at her stats. She's got a nice amount of HP, decent MP. Shoes are the only weapon she can use, but she's got good skills on that. She's got awesome techniques, the works. So yeah, this is pretty much how you get Choko. So I hope you have fun with her. This ends the first bit of Choko's quest. You won't be able to do much more until a little bit later on in the story. Not only that, but you'll also need to have Choko at least around level 55, perhaps a little bit higher, but somewhere in that range, before you can commence the next part of her side quest. So with that, we shall continue this in a later video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Arclad out.